Welcome back to our channel. We're looking at 1978. Pennies that are worth money. Will look at different types of mint errors and different conditions for these coins and of course different coin prices, so let's just hop right into it. Don't forget to go check out all the other coin videos here on the channel. If you guys have missed any, let's just hop right into it. Alright, so 1978. D-mint mark here. Now this coin here has a very high grade of a mint state 67. Red now because of that high grade. That is what gives the coin all of its value. Now if you have this in a menstruate 66, it's not going to be worth as much 6564. Not going to be worth nearly as much as 676869. 70 of course. 70 is a perfect grade. Is going to be what is going to be a worth a decent amount. Now this penny here sold for over $480 because of its high grade. This next coin here is also graded by PCGS at a mid-stage 62. Red in this case, and it has a mint error. It's got a 40 blockage here on the obverse of the coin, so pretty noticeable type of error. Of course, you don't need a coin microscope for anything like this. This penny error sold for around $125. Moving on to a 1978 D that has been double struck with the second strike being 65 off center. Of course, you can look for all centers, different types of off centers on all kinds of different coins, not just Lincoln cents. In this case, it was struck 65% off center, and this penny sold for over $130. As a result of that mint error now of 1978, the D-mint mark, they produced over 4.2 billion of these coins, so they're not valuable in terms of how many they actually made, but stuff like this can give them a little bit of value. Now this is a 1978 no mint mark that has the obverse struck through a capped die. Of course, you can look for capped die coins, and not just on pennies, on quarters, all that stuff, dimes, nickels. So this coin here sold for around 65 as a result of that error. Now same thing with the 1978 no mint mark. We have a mint state 67 plus red grade here, so that is where all the values coming in at, and that plus helps it out. That red grade, this coin sold for over $4,000 for grand. Can't beat that, man. Now here is a coin that's sold on eBay. It hasn't been graded, it's just an off-center coin. It's sold for around $10, so not really worth having a graded in my opinion. But here is another off-center that is graded 1978, a 30 off-center here in this case, and this penny sold for around $50, so again, I personally wouldn't have it graded in that condition. Now here is a 1978, again struck 15 off-center, and this coin sold for around $80. And then we got another 1978 off-center that was struck 45 off-center. This coin sold for over $100. Alright, I think we're done with the off-centers. Here's a 1978 UH double denomination, so we have a penny Lincoln cent design struck on a 10-cent coin. So we got a Lincoln cent design overstruck here on a Roosevelt dime. Very, very cool. This coin here sold for over $700. I absolutely love double denominations, and again for the no mint mark, they produced over 5.5 billion of those coins, so not rare in terms of how many they made. Now this is the proof coin, so it's the S mint mark 1978, created by PCGS at an absolute perfect grade. I proved 70. You cannot get any higher than 70. And it also has that deep cameo. This coin sold for over $4,000 for grand. Alright guys, the 1978 Lincoln pennies, we have the Philadelphia one here, the Denver one here, we have a 1978 San Francisco one here waiting in the wings, but I really want to focus today on the Denver one from 1978. In 1978 at Denver, they made 4.3 billion pennies, and almost every one of them has what we call a Phil D, and if you look at the D on there, you notice that just doesn't have any space in the middle. And some people say, well, this probably happened after the M got squished a little bit, but that doesn't make too much sense because none of the other letters seem to have gotten squished, and why would only the D get squished? So what we'll do is we'll look through a few of these 1978 Ds, and we'll look through some other coins from 1978, the year before and year after, and see what the D's look like on those. To start off with, it's a Lincoln penny, and God, we trust top Liberty behind him, the date here with the mint mark below it, and you notice on this mint mark it actually goes at an angle, it kind of tilts to the right a little bit like it's tippy. Some of the mint marks, I'll show you, do that. Some of them go straight up and down, and some of them, the very rare ones, actually go back to the left. If we tip this coin up, we see that there are some initials underneath here, the VDB for Victor David Breener, the engraver of this coin. The back, we see that it's got some okay detail. This is United States of America at the top. High zoom here, this is the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. You can't see much or Lincoln in there, and over here we're supposed to have initials FG for Frank Gasparo, but again those didn't come out very good. What happened in 1978 was in the process of making 4.3 billion of these. They had some were punches for the mint marks and some worn dies for the coins, and that's why you don't have very good detail on these coins, says one. -1 at the bottom, we tip it up. This is a bronze coin, 95% copper, 5% zinc. At the Philadelphia Mint 1978, they made even more. They made 5.6 billion, so they made over a billion more of these pennies. The best one they found so far at the Philadelphia Mint is a -868, and it's worth $7.750. What about the other letter from 1978? 1978, they had a San Francisco mint mark, and here's the S, and you notice that the S for 1978 is pretty messy. Also this kind of it's not a clear S, it's just a really lumpy kind of S. It's a San Francisco mint. In 1978, they made 3.1 million. They found 46 so far that are proof, 70 deep cameo, and those are worth $4,500 each. The best one they found so far, the Denver Mint, is a -867 plus, and it's worth about $1,700, and that's because not only were the mint marks messy, but the whole rest of the coin was messy. In a lot of cases, you just didn't get any great ones. Let's look at some other Denver Mint marks. Here's one. Maybe this is the best one that we have, and you can see there's a little bit of an opening in the D, at least in that case. Notice this D is going straight up and down. It doesn't tip to the right. Here's another one. This D has a little bit of an opening in the middle, and again it's a straight up and down one. Let's see this one. This one tips way to the right. You can see it's kind of way leaning to the right, and it's Ole Smith, so that's some of that's probably post-mint damage. And this one here again, a pretty filled. If we look at the years before it, like 1977, we see that we still had that in 1977. How about 1979? Oh, 1979, this is a double punch D, so this is not one that you can see how there's extra material around the outside of it. This 1979 isn't much better either. Here's a 1978 D, and this one is a little bit clearer. The dime is, you can actually see the center of it, and if we tip it up, you can actually see that there's a center. It's not great, but it's better. How about the $half dollar? Well, the $half is pretty much a fill deal, so the quarters of fill D. The nickel's a fill D, and how about the Eisenhower dollar? The ER dollar is this kind of ratty looking D, but it does have an opening in the center of it, so the best ones, the best D-mint marks we have from these coins from 1978 are the Eisenhower and the Roosevelt dime. They're still kind of muddied and a little bit filled, so it's not just the penny, so you can't just blame the penny from 1978 for all the messy D's, and this is the best D that we have from 1978 here, and this 1978. Thanks for watching my videos, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon.